Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe, and today we're going to be playing some Jeskai Control on MTG Arena. So this deck, I got some inspiration from I believe it was LSV who posted a build. I put in 2 Nivs. I like to have a little bit more assertive of a win con, but otherwise it's pretty much hard control. You got a number of sweepers, counters in the main. Sideboard, Demystify against all the enchantments at instant speed. 1 mana is pretty good. Some counters against mid-range. I feel main board we're good against creatures, but any sort of like mid-rangey deck. I like bindings in the meta right now. Gets rid of Krasis and the such. Shalai, Angel of Grace, and Lyra, just as a creature package out of the sideboard. So we'll take it for a spin. The other Jeskai deck I was playing was more traditionally combo based around Kicked with Fight with Fire. Might opt to put 1 Fight with Fire in just as alternative win con. But as the game gets loaded, if you haven't done so already, if you can hit that subscribe button in the bottom right, it goes a long way to keeping the channel running. Lets me know that you, the viewer, are appreciating the videos and gives you instant notifications whenever something new comes out. So we'll play first here. We'll keep this hand. So lead on Steam Vents. So next turn we could hold up Syncopate for 1. Or Shivan Fire if they put out a creature. Looks like Grixis. So we'll just play tap lands here. If they play a Campaign. Pass turn. The best thing would be if they were to Insight here. So with having 2 Teferis, probably still hold out. So we'll just Insight here. Get rid of the Settle. Play Sacred Foundries tapped, and pass turn. Discard Shivan Fire here. Grixis. I think we let this go. They'll take one of the 2 Teferis most likely. But we'll be able to resolve 1 regardless next turn. So here that means they do have the counter. Guild Summit's fine. We'll Insight here. So I'm going to Teferi and tuck the Guild Summit. Probably still tuck it. They could draw a bunch of cards by recasting it, but I think we'll fake a counter spell as well here. They Vraska's Contempt, and they can Guild Summit again. The other Teferi there is nice. So here we'll show such. Very strange build. I don't know what you get by playing. So I think we want to just try to draw into some counter magic. I think we insight here. Discard the Hallow Fountain. This forces them if they do have a counter. I think we do absorb. Okay. So it forces out the counter from their hand. It's the first time I've seen Grixis in that shell. We are drawing all our lands. Draw a card here. Play a Field of Ruin. Last turn. So we have a pretty big expansion that we have for next turn. Gonna field one of their lands just to thin out our deck. Or as good a time of any. So we have the backside of Nova. Wipe out all their enchantments. So here we'll draw with Teferi. Negate's really good. So let's Nova. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. We'll negate that. Clears the board. And pass turn. Let's field in there. The likelihood is they probably take this anyways, so let's copy. See what's going on in their hand. They have Devil. It's fine. Target our opponent. Let's get rid of Gates Ablaze here. But that's the bottom. Doesn't do enough at this point. So they'll take the insight here. We could just flash it back anyways. So the reason we left these is neither of them kill Niv. So we can do that on instant speed, which is pretty nice. Gain 3 life. So attack in if they want to take the damage. I'm holding off the land at this point just in case, like if we draw a second one we'll play it, but otherwise we can discard to further insights. Actually, we're only playing 3. Did we go through all 3? Okay, so we've already done all our insights, so it doesn't matter. Spell Pierce is pretty dead, even if they have Disinformation Campaign. It's gross, but we have the binding for it. So resolve, they'll kill our creatures, most likely. Just put it on the stack. So this might take out all their win conditions. That's 4, so that's 5. We have 10 if we can get an expansion. Absorb's not bad for future threats. Just keep playing these out. 24 cards left. Bound to get to a win condition. This is the downside of these like low win con decks. We're not really concerned about the life gain. When we win, we'll win quickly. I think we feel the ruin next turn if we don't hit anything else. We have a turn to blow up Iskanta anyways. Mind you. That's fine. We can actually probably mill out our opponent. Thin out their deck a bit further. So we'll have 4. So 4, so 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're not going to resolve anything against us. So I think the mill plan's not a terrible option. Memorizing, yeah, let's... That's fine. We have Nova for it. We'll absorb here. We can spell Pierce if they have another counter. We'll let that resolve. If it doesn't win them the game at this point, they're behind on cards, so... I think we want the 4th Insight, though, in this deck. Draw another card. So there are 3 cards. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 13. Hey. Good game. It's fine. They're probably looking for Vraska's Contempt here. And they're at 9 cards. Yeah, because they could flip Bolas, so we'll counter. The Justice Strike's good, so even if they counter here, we could still kill it in response to it flipping, but I think that's all they got. Eldest Reborn. I'm just going to cycle the Spell Pierce here. Perfect. So deal damage to our opponent. And then we'll absorb it. So we need to be mindful of the amount of cards we draw as well. I think that's perhaps why they had the one of Nexus in the deck. Just to be able to loop the spell. So we draw a card, ping our opponent. End the turn. 14 cards. They're at 8. Sure. Discard the Hallow Fountain. Justice Strike in response. Ping our opponent. So they have 8 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Target our opponent. They can draw 11. That's a nice little reminder they have. That should win the game. Okay, so they have the Syncopate. That's fine. Deal some damage to them. We'll Field of Ruin our opponent. So this was a slower game. If you wanted to watch Mill happen, this was the one for you. We'll fail to find just to keep more cards in our deck. And end turn. This deck is missing Lava Coils in the sideboard. They have Gates Ablaze here. So I'm actually just gonna pass the turn here. There are 5 cards in hand. Do we play the Nif? Yeah, I probably play the Nif. If they play a lot of spells for us to draw, we can Justice Strike it in response. That's mandatory action. And opponent concedes. This is a long one for game 1. So game 2, Grixis can't get rid of anything with binding, which is nice. So they showed bring in these, bring in the negates. So they'll probably bring in the 3 mana, I forget its name. Put attacking creature on top. These aren't that good. Actually, that might not be too bad. How many cards we gotta kill? About 9. Get rid of the Clarions. They had Bola. Spell Pierce seems pretty bad. Have the negates, insights. Probably not use Shalai. They have the bindings, so I'm a little hesitant maybe to bring those in. Just play more of a control game. Get rid of Syncopate. And one more cut. How many lands do we play in this deck? I could just go down to 2 bindings. They are going to play a bit slower so we can keep counter magic up. Of note, we don't. Oh, we can play the Scanton too, so that's a keep pretty much every time. We have our payoff. Just need the lands to get there. Pay 2 life here. Play Search for Scanta. So the Gateway Plaza may allow them to splash other colors. So here they got the Thief down on their counter magic, which is difficult. There's a consideration to keep the Settles in, perhaps. There was a removal spell. So the plan, I think, is just to get Niv out as quick as possible. They are going to keep getting some value off us. So we'll insight here. They do have blue, although it doesn't appear like it. We'll graveyard that. More lands is not what we needed. Pass turn. So we can flip a Scanta next turn. They hit our Wrath. So here. So they are probably showing it's actually not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we could ambush with Angel of Grace, and then if they have a removal spell, we can copy it. And if they have a counter spell, we can copy it. We'll discard the Sacred Foundry here. Play Angel of Grace. So that's the one counter spell we can't do anything about. So here we're just going to do it on our turn. X equals 2. We'll draw 2 cards. They have the negate, so we'll just concede this one. So let's get rid of the Novas. Let's bring in the Shivan Fires. Yeah, the Justice Strikes. Should be better with us on the draw. Or sorry, on the play. We'll play first. I think we need more action. This hand's a lot better. I think we want actual counter spells. The nice thing is we do have a couple turns. They won't hit naturally, usually on 3. And then we'll have binding even if they get it down. So they duress or binding. Put that on top. Have that intertapped. Put that on top. Last turn. So here, if they put a thief down, we can Teferi. So here, I think we go for the Teferi. Okay, so they have a negate here. If they tap out, we have a response. Might have been a bit premature. Let's graveyard this. Another Teferi. So 1, 2, 3. So we're 1 mana short. So we'll just pass turn. Put that on top. Pass turn. So here we can discard the Ionize to Insight. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's put that on top. So we really just want to stick one of these Teferis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play it with Teferi. So we'll absorb here. So if they let us, perfect. Niv with counter backup should be enough. So get the Disdainful Stroke here. So they have the Eldest Reborn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This in the graveyard. Transform. So now we have Niv with protection. Oh, we actually don't have enough for Niv there. So I'm going to tuck the Eldest Reborn here. Have that enter tapped. So also hopefully draw out a removal on their end. So we'll counter the Eldest Reborn here. Okay, that's fine. Gets it another counter. So we're Niv basically on an empty board. And we have an active Azcanta. So here we're looking for a removal spell. That's perfect. So we'll ping our opponent. We'll Justice Strike here. Ping our opponent. So I think we do this now. In case we hit an Ixalan's Binding, which we don't. So we'll just have that enter tapped and pass turn. So they'll bring out Teferi here. They'll likely... they could bring out Niv. So here, let's respond. So we're drawing 3 cards. Won't have enough. So we'll just go to the roof. We're hoping for like a Shivan Fire or something there. So they get Teferi here. They'll tuck with the Shivan Fire. Draw the Niv. So they can... So this forces them to kill. So they have to get rid of their Nicol Bolas in order to kill our creature. Well, they did the Eldest Reborn. They'll draw 2. That was a mistake on our end. Should have paid more attention there. I don't understand why it always taps Search for Scanta. We'll negate this. Let's play land for turn. Say go. Shouldn't have played a land. Poor playing on this one. So here we're going to search for our Field of Ruin. If they want to lose a land in order to get Niv back. So here we'll plus Teferi. Activate Ascanta. Get an explosion. Play the land tapped. Play Search for Ascanta. So we'll have another activation of Ascanta. They'll get our Niv Mizzet here. However, we have 4, 1, 2, 3. Resolve. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite lethal. Go to our turn. Leave that on top. Plus Teferi. Play a land. Cast Ixalan's Binding. We have 3 counter spells here. Again, with trying to always tap Azcanta. Now resolve. So we will Azcanta here because we have the untap. Second expansion. So we'll just force our opponent to draw cards again. We're at 18, they're at 32, so we can 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Why it did that again, gotta be more mindful. It's fine, they can play Guild Summit. Just keep that on top. Draw a card. So we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And just Azcanta here. And search. So we're at 16, so we can do this for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do this for 9. Do it for 7. Hold up the counter. Sure. Take one. So let's take a look what we can find here. I'll take our counterspell. It's fine. Draw cards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We can hit them for 4. I'm actually just going to do this for 2. It's fine. gets rid of that. We could tuck it with the fairy. Just put it on top. We're at 25, we're at 14. We can start tucking to fairy. Gate here. We sabotage. So we should still have a Lyra. Do they get rid of our Angel of Grace? And an Angel of Grace. So we'll insight here. Oh. Insight here. It's quite unfortunate. Yeah, I think we need more win cons in this deck. Especially lava coils. Or at least the Nexus we could have looped. It's fine, they waste that. Can they mill this? So they got the fairy. We might win. I think we have to keep decline. So our chance of winning this is basically hoping that Niv lives and then dropping the Angel for the last bit of damage. They can down tick. It's fine. We're out of insights, so we're not drawing cards. Yeah, it's fine. Plaza Harmony makes the math a bit weird. We have Thief of Sanity. Let's go our turn. Move it on top. Binding's another good one. So they've seen this already, so there's no harm playing it out. So I think we actually search here. Get the binding. 5 cards. This will force out a counterspell if they have one. Last turn. So we do need to attack Teferi first. So we'll do this now. This is our last win condition. Yep, so they got it. That was a tough one. Went to the games, but not as fond of this deck as my Jeskai version, but it was a good video nonetheless. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the flip side.